Welcome to the home of the 5-time defending national champion Georgia Gym Dogs as the SEC on ESPN visits Athens, Georgia. Tonight, the Gym Dogs, led by seniors Courtney McCool and Grace Taylor, hope to continue their comeback climb while hosting the LSU Tigers, led by senior all-arounders Susan Jackson and Summer Hubbard. Spring is just around the corner, and so are the 2010 SEC Gymnastics Championships, which can be seen here on the SEC on ESPN. We're expecting another full house here tonight at the Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia here in Athens, Georgia for the SEC on ESPN. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Tonight, the LSU Tigers visit the Georgia Gym Dogs. The number 5 Georgia Gym Dogs will be led by senior sensations Grace Taylor, the All-American, and Courtney McCool. Georgia seems to finally be getting into the rhythm this season. And visiting number 10 LSU is an experienced team with 5 outstanding seniors, including Susan Jackson, having her best year yet, the number 1 all-arounder in the NCAA, as well as senior All-American Summer Hubbard. We're looking for another exciting contest here in the SEC tonight. First up for the Georgia Gym Dogs on the vault will be Noelle Couch, the freshman out of Towako, New Jersey. She's all muscle, Kathy Johnson-Clark.
She certainly is. See if she could start off with a stick. Very strong start for Georgia on this event. Such a crucial part of NCAA gymnastics, that lead-off gymnast really starting it off strong.
First up on the bars for LSU will be senior Sabrina Franciselli.
LSU really had a difficult warm-up period going for these handstands. The judges are really looking for a perfect handstand position. They're being aggressive on them, and sometimes the gymnasts are overbalancing the handstand in effort to get full credit. No deductions. Much better than in warm-ups. Not a bad start.
Coach Dee Dee Bro said she had a groin pull a couple of weeks ago, but she started to get steadier as the season has progressed. Lauren Sessler will be the next vaulter for the Gym Dogs. The score for Noelle Couch, a very impressive 9.875 to start off their rotation.
Really starting to look for stuck landings. This time of the season is when they really need to come up with them. Slight step backwards, a little under-rotated on that vault. Didn't quite get the amplitude or rotation. Certainly not a bad vault, but you don't want to give away. Well, see how her head was really lower than the level of the table. Needs to be up above, and of course they'll take a 1/10 of a point off for that step back.
Keep in mind, 6 gymnasts will perform on each event. Just the top 5 scores count towards the team total on all 4 events. Shelby Prunty now up for LSU on the bars. The score for her teammate Sabrina Franciselli was a 9.75 to start off their rotation. Prunty's just a freshman out of Illinois.
This is LSU's top-ranked event. They're ranked 9th, much better than in warm-ups. They were really struggling on this event, trying to hit handstands, catch those release moves.
Some of the gymnasts and coaches were complaining the bars were almost too bouncy, weren't they?
Well, you could see the bounce in the bars. It's just an adjustment. Any competition you go to, bar is going to be a little different. Slight step on the landing, but they're hitting routine so far.
Philip Ogletree, the assistant coach, gives her high 10. Back to the vault. The score for Lauren Sessler was a 9.75, the second vaulter for Georgia. Here is Cassidy McComb, who's really coming into her own as a leader this year. The junior out of Nevada.
And she is becoming a leader on this squad. Very nice. See how she fights for the landing, gets the arms up quickly, even if it's not a perfectly stuck landing. Don't give away any little thing. It was a nice vault in the air. She fought to stick the landing. Just had a minor adjustment, but got her arms up quickly. Just half step back. Thanks. Thanks.
First two scores for Georgia were 9.875 and 9.75 on the ball. This is an event where Georgia's ranked 13th in the country. Their best events are bars and beam. Those are coming up later. Back to the bars now for LSU. This is Erica Garcia out of Mexico City, Mexico. She just joined the team recently because she had some challenges with her NCAA eligibility. She was a member of the national team when she was competing in Mexico and did receive some money as a benefit for that, but chose to work out her money issues with the NCAA, and she is eligible now to compete for the LSU Tigers.
And she was a last-minute replacement on this event. One of the other gymnasts was having trouble in warm-ups. And Dee Dee Bro made the call to replace her with Erica, and unfortunately that is a missed element there.
Oh, they did pull out Kayla Rogers, who did struggle in the warm-ups, and replace her with Garcia. LSU is going to need to be nearly perfect here if they're going to challenge the Gym Dogs at home. We'll be back with her score and more of the first rotation. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Stegman Coliseum. Shayla Worley next up for the Georgia Gym Dogs. I'm Bart Connor, along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. This is Georgia and LSU Gymnastics.
Shayla tweaked your ankle a little over a week ago, but you couldn't tell it now. Very nice vault. Fairly large step on the landing. Of course, that's a deduction, but it was very pretty in the air.
The score for Cassidy McComb was a 9.85 prior to her.
This vault is worth a 10.0 in the code of points. Of course, the big deduction that you see is the step. Nice form in the air.
You're right. You got to be able to try.
Kayla Worley had a little bit of a wobbly start to the season as a freshman. You know, she's a much heralded 7-time national team member, but college gymnastics is a little different, a different kind of pressure. She seems to be settling down and finding her mark here with the Georgia Gym Dogs. Back to the bars. The score for Erica Garcia was a very low 9.4. So the three scores so far for LSU on the bars are 9.75, 9.675, and a 9.4. 5 scores count towards a team total, so they can afford no more mistakes if they're going to keep this a tight contest with the Gym Dogs tonight.
Obviously, they want to drop that 9.4. They need some big routines right here. This is when you want a gymnast to step up and really hit big. This is the routine to do it. Very nice work. Good combination of elements. Hitting the handstand. A little short on those handstands. The judges are sitting right next to the uneven bars, to the side. They can really see whether they're hitting vertical positions or not in the handstand. Dismount, double front.
Nice. Coach Dee Dee Bro said she thinks this is one of the finest bar routines in the country. Nice technique. Back to the vault for Georgia. Shayla Worley had a 9.85. Hillary Morrow.
One of the most difficult vaults in the meet. 1.5 twist. Oh, couldn't quite pull off a good landing. Nice vault in the air, but she pulled her head forward, brought her arms forward, didn't quite lay it in for a stuck landing. Let's take a look at this. See her position in the air. She gets a decent block off the table, pushes up, wraps it around, just finishes the twist right as she's coming in the landing. That makes it really hard to stick.
When you shorten up, it speeds up the rotation.
Coach Jay Clark, of course, took over for the retired Suzanne Yockman. He's been here 17 years, but now he is at the helm and the leadership of this program at Georgia that has won 10 NCAA team titles and the last 5 in a row. What a tradition to try to carry on here in Athens, Georgia. Back to the bar, Summer Hubbard. This could be a highlight, the 2-time All-America athlete.
Really nice work, good handstand. She swings so aggressively on this event. Has a nice level of difficulty from start to finish. I really like the way she swings up to those handstands. Nice straight arm bodies. Straight arms, wow, great routine. Double layout, good landing. That's a big one, and they need it.
Score for her teammate Samantha Engel was a 9.75. Back to the vault. Hillary Morrow had a 9.825, so Kat Dink will finish it off here for the Gym Dogs on the first of 4 events.
Another Yurchenko full. Oh, fight! There you go. Don't move those feet.
Catherine Ding having a fantastic year. We'll see her on the bars where she is a specialist, but a very nice vault.
Strong vault. She's really looking for a perfect landing here. She tries to not move her feet, slightly off balance, a little off center, but tiny deduction.
We're watching the replays on the screen here as well, getting a kick out of it. Well, Georgia at home off to a very solid start. No stuck landings, unlikely to see a 9.9.
Don't let up. Let's go.
Let's go, girls.
Strong start for the Gym Dogs. Looks like Dee Bro in her 33rd year at LSU has a issue with some of the scores here on the uneven bars. Dee is known as the Dean of Coaches at LSU. You see that in basketball and football, but it's rare you see a gymnastics coach get in the face of a judge. Way to go, Dee. Susan Jackson now.
They need another big score here. Susan is ranked
country.
number 1 in the all-around, 2nd on this event. Such a consistent gymnast, which really is the name of the game in college gymnastics.
Her teammate Summer Hubbard had a 9.825.
Very nice. Finish strong.
Okay, only one low score for LSU on the bars. That was the 9.4 for Garcia. Otherwise, pretty solid score.
Full twisting double back on this dismount. Like her teammate, she swings aggressively and nails a perfect landing.
We'll come back with the score for Susan Jackson, and we'll update the standings after the first of 4 rotations. Don't go away. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome back inside the Stegman Coliseum. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. We are in Athens, Georgia tonight. Let's take a look at the scores after the first of 4 rotations. There are the scores for Georgia on the vault. Their 3rd straight week scoring at least 49 or better on the vault. And for LSU on the uneven bars, Susan Jackson capped it off with a 9.875. So here are the team standings after the first of 4 rotations. By a little bit more than 0.3 of a point, the Georgia Gym Dogs have the lead. Hi, everybody. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist, Kathy Johnson-Clark. And Kathy, we're about 3/4 of the way through the season, and the Georgia Gym Dogs seem to finally be hitting their stride. The last 3 meets, they've scored over 197 each time.
They definitely had a rough start, but it's been a constant build the last 3 competitions, and I think they finally turned the corner against Florida. They had a great competition, scoring 197, higher than 197, but more important, they look relaxed. They look more like themselves. They were more aggressive in competition. I'm a little surprised not to see more stuck landings on vault, but they're definitely more like the Georgia team we're used to seeing.
Now, what about LSU? We talked to Coach Dee Bro, and she said, I got a scrappy team. And she's very impressed with how his team is held together. They've had some injuries early in the season, but they had a huge victory this year, and they have some momentum, don't they?
Keep in mind, this scrappy team beat the number 2 team, Alabama. So I think they believe anything is possible. And they have Susan Jackson, so consistent on all 4 events, number 1 in the all-around ranking at this point, and just strong all the way around.
First up on the vault for LSU will be Kayla Rogers. Let's see if they can recover from a subpar performance on the uneven bars. LSU behind by more than 0.3 of a point. Needs to stick these landings if they're going to get back into this contest with Georgia on a great event for them at the bar.
Well, Dee is fired up, and she wants them fired up. She wants bigger scores out of them. They expected higher scores on the bars. The way you're going to get the really huge scores are nailing these landings.
Grace Taylor will open it up for the Georgia Gym Dogs on the bar.
And it's nice to see Grace really getting back to form. She had a slow start to her senior year. Kind of understandable, really. She's had such amazing years, the 3 previous years, national titles, beam titles, runner-up. I mean, she's done it all. And then Coach Suzanne Yocklin's retirement, she probably felt done, but she's finally turned it around and finished strong in her senior year, doing some great gymnastics. And look at the fire.
You know, Courtney Coupette's, the assistant coach, said her graceness is back. She really seems to be exploding with energy now. Congratulations to Grace Taylor. Great opening bars performance. Sabrina Franciselli now. You saw her score on the bars, 9.75 for LSU. LSU can typically use 2 or 3 all-arounders in the competition. Franciselli, maybe Hubbard and Jackson. Georgia rarely uses all-arounders. Oh!
Yeah, baby! All right. Wow. Pretty big hop on the landing.
Good job, baby. Good job.
Franciselli, one of the returning All-Americans, along with Jackson, Hubbard, and Rogers.
Watch this vault. She twists off the board, onto the table. Just a tucked position at the end, but the difficulty was on the pre-flight of the vault, twisting onto the table.
Her teammate Kayla Rogers had a 9.825 to start off vault. Marcia Newby, typically a highlight for Georgia. She's second up. That's impressive. This is a great team. They're ranked second in the country on bars. The score for Grace Taylor, a 9.85 to start it off.
Marcia's really been working hard on this event, trying to improve form, techniques, really showing off the handstands. And when you're 5'7", you can really show them off.
A couple of years ago, she had a rod put in her shin. She can only train 1 time per week on the vault, so these landings are a lot of pressure on this young lady who's 5 feet 7 inches tall.
But she's turned her attention to this event and really worked on perfecting all the elements and obviously going after the stick.
That was a sweet landing.
And this is what you have to do in collegiate gymnastics. You cannot give away 1/10 of a point, especially on the landing. Last thing the judge sees, nail it.
We mentioned we're 3/4 of the way through the season. These are the type of landings you start to expect when you get to the championship point of the season. Back to the vault now. Franciselli had a 9.8.
Good position in the air. Big hop. It looked like she might have been slightly off-center, off-line.
Ashley Lee, the sophomore out of California, Vacaville, California.
The judges not only look for amplitude, which is the height and the bigness of the vault off the table, but direction. You must stay perfectly in line with the table. She's just slightly off to the right.
Now you got to press the hips open and stay there, okay? Nice job.
Next up on bars for Georgia, Gina Nuccio, the sophomore out of Naperville, Illinois. She's ranked 18th in the country in the NCAA with an average of 9.83 this season.
And Bart, the team is ranked second on this event, so this is an event where they can really come up with some big scores and separate themselves from any team they're competing against. They've got to do it here.
Her teammate Marcia Newby had a 9.875.
Short and sweet. That was a quick routine.
Jay Clark says that's what I'm talking about. We'll be back with her score and more of the second rotation. Don't go away. Mark Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark welcome you back to this action between LSU and the Georgia Gym Dogs in gymnastics. Erica Garcia now up for LSU on the ball.
Yeah! Nice vault in the air. Still haven't seen that stop landing. I'm just waiting for her.
Good job, baby. Good job. Good job.
LSU's ranked 11th in the country on the vault. They've had some notable wins this year against Alabama, Auburn, and Maryland.
I haven't quite seen that special vault, one that really explodes off the table and then comes in for a great landing.
Isn't it interesting sometimes a stuck landing can just inspire a whole competition, can't it?
It can be a major turning point.
Yeah, a little up on the leg. There you go.
Garcia had only a 9.4 on the bars. Looking for a much better score there on the vault.
Better.
Kat Ding already contributed a 9.825 on the vault, and she is spectacular on the bars. Right now, she's ranked 6th in the NCAA with an average score of 9.875. She's having a great year. Score for her teammate Lucio was a 9.85.
Nice handstand. That's showing it.
Uh-oh.
Covered it, but she's hitting those handstands, though, I have to say. Double layout. And boy, is she good at the landings.
You know, both teams had trouble in the warm-up on the bars. These bars are what they call portable bars. They're not locked into the ground with clips. They're actually suspended by weights, water weights, and they're really bouncy.
I can see them moving almost from side to side. It drives me crazy, but Georgia's used to it. Whoa!
Nice vault for Gloria Johnson, a little close to the vault table.
Nice job,
A
Good
little
job,
off to
baby.
the side, but a better landing. No one's really come down and differentiated themselves from the other. See how she goes off to the side, off to the right, so she's not only close to the table, but she's a little off center as well.
Her teammate Garcia had a 9.85, so she did rebound from that low 9.4 on the bars. Score on bars for Kat Ding, a 9.85. That brings up Shayla Worley. She had a 9.85 in the vault.
This is a potentially very big score for them. Plagued by a back injury throughout her elite career. Seems to be managing it pretty well in her freshman year of her collegiate career. Finally getting the hang of it. It's hit your routine. Go out, take it one skill at a time. Feel the team energy.
It's completely different when they're elite gymnasts. They compete only a handful of times each year. Here they're competing every weekend.
And she's getting better and better. Couldn't quite come up with a stuck landing. A nice swing.
Georgia doing what they need to do to hold on to the lead likely. We go back to vault for LSU. The score for Gloria Johnson was a 9.75. The high scores over there so far, a 9.85 for Garcia. Jackson typically provides a highlight. She's just explosive everywhere, isn't she?
Number 2 ranked gymnast on this event, and she is very explosive. Really gets the height. Notice how high she is up off the horse. The position is great.
Good job,
And the landing, well, that speaks for itself. That's the one I'm looking for.
She almost floats off the ceiling from that. Kind of lays it out and even arches a little in the last position. Incredible.
Showed some flair.
It was awesome.
Really the most special vault in the competition. Way up above the height of the table. Lays it in perfectly straight. Very nice.
I don't know. I can't remember. I stick it. I don't know.
Did you stick it? I don't know. Look pretty good from here. Courtney McCool will be the final performer for the Gym Dogs on the bars. Shayla Worley had a 9.85.
And talk about perfection. Look at her toe point, straight legs, body position. Her technique is really superb. It's definitely her trademark. She has worked on perfecting every single skill, giving away no detail. Whoa! She hit that one, though. She overbalanced it against Florida. Not here, though. Very difficult dismount in the laid-out position, double with a full twist.
More difficult than anybody else in the competition. Nice.
Definitely my favorite part of the routine. She does it extremely well, perfectly straight body, and as you mentioned, the most difficult in the competition.
And the score for Susan Jackson on the vault, a 9.95 for LSU. A highlight for them on that event for sure. We'll be back with the score for Courtney McCool and the standings at the halfway point. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Stegman Coliseum. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Here are the scores at the halfway point in the competition. LSU, very impressive on the vault. Susan Jackson got a 9.95. That's their second highest vault score of the year. And on the bars for the Georgia Gym Dogs, 4 scores of 9.85, one of which will be dropped, and 2 9.875s for the number 2 ranked team in the country on the bar. So here are the standings at the halfway point by .425. The Gym Dogs have a lead over the visiting LSU Tigers. First up for Georgia on the treacherous balance beam will be freshman Krista Tanella.
I really like the style of this gymnast work on this event.
She comes from the Woga Gymnastics program in Plano, Texas, which of course has produced the last 2 Olympic all-around champions, and Carly Patterson in 2004 and Nastia Lukin in 2008.
You can see the attention to detail. Pretty hands, the toe point, the position, the head, everything. It's just really pleasing.
Talked to Courtney Kupets before the meet and said, what's the challenge for Krista? And she said she just needs to be consistent and gain confidence.
I would say that's spot on. The gymnastics is there. It's just really getting aggressive in competition and going out and hitting every single time. Good start.
Georgia does have a lead, but of course they're on the perilous balance beam. Anything can happen. Let's go back over to the floor exercise because LSU will open it up there. First to go will be Kayla Rogers. She had a 9.825 on vault.
Let's go, Kay. Come on, take it out.
Judges really looking for the stuck landings on the tumbling passes. Obviously, level of difficulty.
Hear Dee Dee Bro cheering her on. Give you some perspective on what we're looking at tonight. The last time LSU beat Georgia in a dual meet in Athens was 1983, 27 years ago. LSU did beat Georgia at home 5 years ago.
Lift, that's it. All right, Kayla.
Tiger claws at the end.
Nice job.
I'm finally getting used to the gator chomps and the tiger claws and all of the...
Somehow this tiger claws doesn't have the same effect in Athens, Georgia as it does in Baton Rouge, does it?
No, it doesn't play quite so well.
Hillary Morrow now up for Georgia.
Hillary is such a tough gymnast in competition. Very focused, very intent.
We had a laugh with her before the competition, talking to Courtney Kupets. I said, tell me something about Hillary. She says, well, she thinks she's 4'9", but really, she's only 4'8".
Pull it up. Oh, that's too bad. Balance breaks can cost anywhere from half a tenth to 3 or 4 tenths, depending on the severity. Anytime you break at the waist and lean over, you're leaning toward at least a 3/10 deduction.
Her teammate Krista Tanella led him off with a 9.8. Solid opening score there. Good
routine, just that one balance error in the middle of the set. Not happy with this, unfortunately. She was off really in the air coming down. She could tell as the first foot was coming down. She was already making corrections.
Should every double back into that other side.
Ashley Lee will be next up for LSU. Score for Kayla Rogers, a 9.825 to open it up for the Tigers. Nicely done.
Take it up. Come on, up, Al.
Mostly front tumbling in this routine.
You heard Dee Bro in the background. You're actually not allowed to coach your kids. Our mic is a little closer to her than she can't quite hear it as well as we can, but she's saying turn it over, stay tight, trying to inspire this team at this away competition. Hillary Morrow's score was only a 9.55. Disappointing. Kat Ding now. Ding had a 9.85 on bars.
Georgia is also ranked second on this event. They've always been so tough on balance beam. It's been one of the keys to their success through the many years, being able to hit this event under pressure.
You talk about pressure, too. They have the toughest schedule in the U.S. so far. They've met 5 teams in the top 10, and next week they have visiting UCLA, who's ranked number 3. So everybody wants to take on the Georgia Gym Dogs. I mean, they're a target with their enormous success.
But one thing you have to keep in mind is they lost 2 huge scores. Courtney Coupette's right there, who's watching.
Oh. Isn't that a surprise?
It really is, particularly having watched the warm-ups. They were so tough in warm-ups and really nailing everything and supporting each other, and I really thought they were going to attack this event.
You see Courtney Coupette's on the side there, the 15-time All-American, 9-time NCAA individual champion, and last year's leader of this championship team from the Gym Dogs. Now she is an assistant coach here.
Hey, Amber.
They call her the attitude enhancer because she's such a light spirit in the gym. Let's see if she can motivate the Gym Dog. Sabrina Franciselli having a good meet.
One thing LSU is very good at is taking advantage of situations. If a door opens, they bust right through. So if Georgia continues to make mistakes over here, that will just turn LSU on.
Dee Bro said this is a very steady gymnast. She's having a great year, even though she had that groin pull a couple of weeks ago. Very tough competitor.
Come on, baby. Stretch. Yeah!
Event where LSU is ranked 16th in the country.
Good job, baby. Good job, Rini.
They are getting through these routines, hitting landings, hitting routines.
Up next for the Georgia Gymnastics,
Well, the dynamics change a little bit for Georgia over here on the beam.
And Shayla needs to
of a mistake.
turn it around right here. They need a very big routine, an inspiring performance here. She can really be extraordinary on this event. She has such a... Just a little rattled. Did not see this in the warm-ups at all.
But these two teams are separated by only .425. 6 gymnasts on each event. The best 5 scores count, so you can have one fall. But if you have more than one fall, that could change the scope of this competition dramatically.
In the very close competition against Florida, Georgia was extremely tough in competition, particularly on this event. And that's without the comfort of being at home. Although I have to say, sometimes competing at home has a different kind of pressure, obviously.
Score for Kat Ding was only a 9.2.
She needs to stick this landing. Oh! Just giving away little bitty deductions throughout that routine.
The 3 scores for Georgia on the beam are 9.8 and 9.55 and only a 9.2. So the scores on floor, 9.825, 9.75. Franciselli had a 9.8. Here comes Summer Hubbard. An opportunity perhaps for LSU. She's added difficulty tonight. Let's see if she goes for it. She got a couple of new tumbling passes.
Go, Sonny! Automatic!
Oh! That was where she was going to add an extra half twist.
Yeah, she completely
Botched
missed
it.
that.
She had 2 options of passes that she was going to modify. That was one of them. Oh!
Listen. Oh. This is when you need the experience of collegiate gymnastics. So you make a mistake, you need to come back from it immediately. Make no more, if at all possible.
Go, Sonny! I thought she'd go Rudy layout and get us those 10s back. Well, yeah, if she doesn't get a D on that first pass.
You hear Dee Dee Bro say she doesn't get a D on the first pass. There's some difficulty missing in that routine from what she had hoped to get. We'll be back with her score and more of this SEC battle. Don't go away.
And you know what? You said, I'm going to do it when you tell me to do it.
In Coliseum, action continues here in this SEC battle. A critical routine now for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Grace Taylor, ranked number 2 in the NCAA on the beam.
Consistently great on this event. She's beautiful, great flexibility. The design of the routine is so pleasing. It's easy to watch, very graceful. No pun intended. I love the choices she makes on this event with her skills. It's great variety. It's a ton of pressure on her in this position. It's a gymnast that can handle a whole lot of pressure.
The score for Shayla Worley was a 9.75, so additional pressure on Grace Taylor, and they will be followed up by Courtney McCool.
It's a
The
great
leadership tandem.
Great 1-2 punch, I have to say, in terms of the beauty of their routines and the consistency they bring. They can earn gigantic scores.
impressive scores. Hillary Morrow only a 9.55 and Kat Ding a 9.2. Grace Taylor, a clutch performance. A lot of pressure will be on the final performer, Courtney McCool, for the Gym Dogs on the beam.
Echo 4 exercise. Up next for LSU
to the floor.
is Samantha Engel.
Summer Hubbard had a 9.525 with that botched opening tumbling run, so perhaps a missed opportunity for a big score for LSU there. Samantha Engel now.
Come on, Sam! Go, Sammy, come on. Take it out, Sammy.
Big Arabia double front.
Nice.
Come on, Sam. Feet under you, Sam.
She's fighting for those landings.
Did we just forget our routine? Did she just forget her routine?
She's adding something. Like, late on early on the music. You're just throwing arms up.
Come on, Sammy. Come on, Sam. Come on, second flip rise. Take it up, Sam. Come on, strong, Sam. Up, up.
Well, she opened the routine with one of the biggest tricks in women's collegiate gymnastics, an Arabian double front. Huge skill. Really pulled it around. Nice height. Little more rotation than she needed.
Right then, we needed that.
On the beam now, Courtney McCool, the final performer for the Gym Dogs. A clutch performance, as you mentioned, Kathy Johnson-Clark. 9.925 for her teammate, Grace Taylor.
And I get the feeling she loves to be in this position. She's become such a leader on this squad. Even in the beginning when they were struggling, she would come up with a huge score, like, no, not yet, guys. Come on, pull it together.
Some perspective on the scores. A 9.2 for Kat Ding would be the score that's dropped. If she can hit a big score here, Hillary Morrow's 9.55 will count towards a team total.
What Courtney does better than anyone is make tiny, almost imperceptible corrections to not give up deductions. It's really an uncanny ability that wow, is so necessary to come up with a big score she has consistently gotten on this event. Right there, she just makes the little changes.
It's interesting, it's like a basketball player. Some have soft hands around the net, and she almost has soft feet. She can finesse those landings like few gymnasts can.
And you would only know it if you've watched her through the years and watched this routine over and over to know that she can do it slightly differently and equally perfect. Boy, if she can come up with a great landing here, another gigantic score. That's what they need. Woo.
Wow! What pressure on Courtney McCool after two mediocre routines. She had to deliver for the Gym Dogs, and she did.
The LSU and Georgia.
Well, I thought Shayla had tweaked that ankle, and I could tell by her face as she walked off, limping. Oh.
She's not terribly happy, but more than 10,224 in the Stegman Coliseum are happy because a clutch performance keeps the Gym Dogs in the lead. Samantha Engel on floor for LSU had a 9.825. So their low score there so far is a 9.525, which likely will be replaced with Susan Jackson.
Go, Sue.
Wow.
Come on, take it up. Arms up.
Oh,
That's jumps.
wow.
That's get some springs.
You can see why she averaged nearly a 9.9 this season on the floor. Wow. The SEC Gymnast of the Week. She set the LSU record. She won the all-around title 6 weeks in a row. That's never happened.
Hands down. Let's go. Handspring.
She was quite high.
Wow.
Nice position. Just opened up the pike a little bit too much. Landed stiff-legged, bounced her forward.
What a gifted athlete. Most athletes would have been on their nose, and she somehow saved it.
Boy, is she springy, and the technique is phenomenal. You combine those two things, and you've got a gorgeous double layout.
All right, we'll be back with the score for Susan Jackson on the floor for LSU in the standings after 3 of 4 events. You're looking at 3 lucky young ladies. These young ladies were picked out of the audience, and they are the winners of the best seat in the house. They sit on that couch right next to the floor exercise mat with some pizzas, and they, next to you and me, Kathy Johnson-Clark, get the best seat in the house. Here are the scores for Georgia on the balance beam, capped off by the superstars Taylor and McCool, 9.925. Clutch performances for the Gym Dogs on the beam. And on the floor for LSU, Susan Jackson, a 9.775 was their final performer. So LSU did gain some ground by 25 thousandths of a point on Georgia in that third rotation. So here are the standings. Georgia's lead, 0.4 of a point. Georgia goes to the floor, and LSU will take to the beam. Well, perhaps some future Olympians or future Gym Dogs in attendance. It's a great night here in Athens, Georgia. Of course, Georgia renowned for incredible crowds to see the Gym Dogs compete. Attendance records for home and away meets, more than 10,596 people come to see the Gym Dogs, whether they're home or away. So they're a draw here in Athens or anywhere else. In fact, this year they had a dual meet with Utah, and 15,552 people came to see that dual meet, the largest crowd in NCAA gym history. They know how to promote gymnastics here in the SEC as well as at Utah.
Okay, I want that elite look, great presentation, and aggressive.
LSU moves to the beam now. Important rotation for the Tigers. An opportunity, perhaps, because the one event that has been the bugaboo, as Jay Clark says, for Georgia, has been the floor. That has not been their strength. So LSU has an opportunity if they can be consistent here. Shelby Prunty up first.
Like Georgia, they warmed up extremely well on this event. Very solid, very calm.
Good job. Let's go, Shelby.
And I heard Dee Bro tell presentation, be aggressive. She really wanted an elite presentation as well. Show this. Wow. How she managed to pull that back on. She landed on the edge, the corner of the beam.
Wow, talk about aggressive.
I can tell you that doesn't feel great. She's not feeling it yet, but when she gets off, she will.
Nice job, Shelby. Let's go, babe. Bring it home.
We've talked often about the critical nature of the first person on beam.
Come on, Shelby. Come on, Shelby.
Take it out.
Ice water in the veins help. Good job.
Good job, Shelby.
To start competition floor exercise for the University of Georgia. Up first is Noelle.
All right, Courtney McCool getting a little rub down on her ankles before they get ready for the floor performances. Noelle Couch. We saw her vault earlier, 9.875. She needed to loosen up, according to Courtney Kupets, and she has done just that. She's fun to watch on floor. Wow.
Very difficult tumbling runs. Got a little bit of the stumbles on the landing.
Georgia ranked only 14th in the country on this event.
In the past, this has been a very big event for them. They always like throwing the huge tumbling tricks. Well, had a nice level of difficulty there.
It didn't stop. It just kept going.
Score for Shelby Prunty was a 9.725. Sabrina Franchiselli now.
Nice, Bree.
So far, 2 9.8s and a 9.75 towards their team total today. Solid.
Pick it up. Nice, Bree.
One of the tricks to mastering this event is balancing the ability to stay calm and be aggressive at the same time. Really attack every skill, attack the landings.
So Dee Broad said before the meet that her team has been tight on the meet. Hard to relax up there.
Yeah!
What's the right attitude? Is it aggressive with a sense of calm?
Aggressive calm.
Yeah?
Aggressive calm. You really have to attack everything and make it happen, not wait to see what happens. You're in charge. Get in the driver's seat and go for it.
Good job, baby.
Franchiselli, a nice double back to finish.
Exercise for the University of Georgia,
Back to the floor for Georgia. The score for Noelle Couch is a 9.775. Hillary Morrow. See if she can rebound from that subpar performance on the beam.
That put a smile on her face. Good landing. I feel like I'm in some European disco, not Athens, Georgia. Hillary Morrow, highlight for the Gym Dog. Don't go away, folks. It's going to be close. We're back in Stegman Coliseum. Erica Garcia now for LSU on the beam. Update the scores there. Franchiselli had a 9.7. Shelby Prunty a 9.725. This is a gymnast that I really get the sense she's still settling into collegiate gymnastics. It's a big change.
Oh.
Same kind of thing that we saw on the uneven bars. She's just not together yet. Really able to focus when clearly she's nervous. She's trying to step up for the first time for the team and really contribute.
We've discussed this often. It's a big transition for elite athletes coming to collegiate competition. They normally compete a couple, 2 or 3 times a year. It's mostly training and preparation, but college meets, you're expected to deliver week in and week out.
And ironically, the thing they love the best is the team aspect of collegiate gymnastics and having the support of their teammates. But it's also, they're counting on you too. Whereas in elite gymnastics, it's yourself, you're obviously representing your coach, your team, but it's a little different.
Cassidy McComb will be up now for the Georgia Gym Dogs. She had a 9.85 on the vault. Hillary Morrow's score was a 9.85.
Courtney Coupet's remarked how much she has stepped up and become a leader on this team in a huge way this year. She's always been an integral part of the success at Georgia, but enjoying stepping into the leadership position.
Junior Cassidy McComb. She was an All-American on the floor as a freshman.
On balance beam, up next for LSU is Summer.
Back over to the beam for LSU. Erica Garcia had only a 9.225. That adds a lot of pressure now to Summer Hubbard.
Come on, Summer. Let's go, babe.
You got this, Sammy.
Come on, down the beam.
Come on, Sam.
Nice. Good job, Sammy.
Early in the season, LSU lost some depth. Kaylee Dixon and Nikki Lyons were out with injuries, and that really depleted their options.
Nice, son.
Dee Bro always seems to put together a strong team. Last year, they were 6th in the NCAA championships.
2 national titles, vault and floor. Ashley Claire Kearney. That's a huge position to try and
Go, babe.
fill.
Come on, Sammy.
Strong routine. Good landing.
Good job.
Last 3 meets, all over 196 for LSU. Could be looking at a good score here tonight if they can have a couple more clutch performances there. Krista Tonella, we saw her 9.8 on the beam to lead off with the Gym Dogs. Impressive start for this freshman.
And she's stepping in place of Shaylee Worley, who tweaked her ankle over on the balance beam. Oh, out of bounds, unfortunately. Nice pass, but 1/10 of a point deduction for stepping out of bounds.
commented on her polish on beam. It's evident here as well. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's really refreshing. She can dance, and the choreography is nice. And she can tumble. She's some great tumbling runs, good landings. Unfortunately, the one out of bounds. Oh no, she saved it.
Wow.
She ought to get bonus for pulling that out. She won't, I'm joking, but
wow.
Ow. She completely mistimed that punch. Is out of position.
All right, we'll be back with the score for Krista Tonella. And the final performers, don't go away. We're back at Stegman Coliseum. Samantha Engel. We last saw her on the floor where she scored a 9.825. Summer Hubbard had a 9.825. Erica Garcia's score of a 9.225 is the one they hope to drop. Only 4/10 points separated these two teams coming into this final rotation. When a fall is a half a point deduction.
Go, babe. Come on,
4/10 of a point. Means it's close. Keep in mind, 6 athletes perform. The best 5 scores count towards the team total. So you can drop one low score, but not more than that.
Coaches at this point are really looking to go 6 for 6, particularly on this event, preparing for the postseason and a hopeful place at the NCAA Super 6.
Grace Taylor now on the floor. The score for Krista Tonella saved that landing in a 9.6, but Cassidy McComb had only a 9.675. There was a 9.85 for Hillary Morrow and a 9.775 for Noelle Couch. So Jay Clark is right. This is the event where Georgia is vulnerable right now.
Grace Taylor came up huge for them on balance beam. Oh, that's
beautiful.
Nice.
Drilled it.
Well, 2 very good landings, and she pulled out the last one.
Her Graceness is back. Grace Taylor. We'll be back in a minute with the final 2 performances. LSU's Susan Jackson and Georgia's Courtney McCool. We're back now. Susan Jackson having a very strong competition. It's clear why she is the #1 all-arounder in the NCAA this year so far. Consistent.
We've really only seen her miss that one landing, the awkward landing on the double pike on the floor exercise. But other than that, very consistent, high level difficulty.
And that mistake was actually for sort of overdoing it. That's nice having that extra power. Samantha Engel had a 9.875.
This is the type gymnast that does so well in collegiate gymnastics, competing almost every weekend. She's so strong physically. She can handle the pounding, handle the repetition, compete in the all-around in every single competition. Great job.
Only 1 weak score for LSU on the beam. Otherwise, 5 solid scores towards their team total. But as usual, it comes down to Courtney McCool. The Olympic medalist, she's done 2 spectacular performances today on the bars and the beam. And here she has a chance to close it out for the Georgia Gym Dogs.
And she can be extraordinary on this event. Beautiful dance, excellent tumbling. Watch the landings. Feet are usually perfectly together.
She's ranked #1 in the NCAA right now on the floor.
Outstanding.
Courtney McCool, superb. There's more than 10,000 people here tonight that want to see a 10. You wouldn't have any argument from me. You heard Jay Clark said, "I'm glad you're on my team."
Big back.
Now that's some competition, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around for just a few minutes. We'll have a presentation of all our scores tonight.
Well, the score 9.95 for Courtney McCool. Drew some boos from the audience here. She scored a 10 before, but just 5/100ths of a point short of it tonight. And so tonight, here are the scores in the final rotation. On the balance beam, LSU scores well. Susan Jackson capped it off with a 9.85. And on the floor for the Georgia Gym Dogs, Taylor a 9.85 and McCool a 9.95 to cap off a great victory for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Here are the final scores. Actually, LSU won the vault and the beam. Georgia won the bars and the floor. The big difference tonight, the bars, Georgia over LSU. So the final score, by more than a half a point, the Georgia Gym Dogs beat the visiting LSU Tigers. Boy, it was Grace Taylor and Courtney McCool all night long. They were the difference, and they're with our Kathy Johnson-Clark right now.
Thanks, Bart. Wow, what a great competition. Jay, take us through from the start of season to this moment. How has this season gone?
It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, Kathy, as you know, and we've had our highs, we've had our lows, and this was sort of an in-betweener for us. You know, last week we felt like we performed really well, came out with a 1/10 loss, and we come in here today and kind of stumbled around and really made a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes that we don't see in the gym, and we get out with a victory. So I guess it's better to win ugly sometimes than it is to lose pretty. So we feel pretty good about getting a win. It's going to help our RQS, and we're excited about the future.
Well, something that was not ugly at all. These two young ladies here, I could be wrong, but I think you love pressure situation. Tell me what it feels like, 1-2 punch on beam and floor.
We love it. I mean, you are absolutely right. We love not just the pressure, but getting to perform and getting to perform for this team and to perform together. And I mean, it's just such a blessing every time we come out here. We remind each other before we go, just every skill, every pass, soak it up, and that's what we do.
Have you thought through this season, like how it began and what your role as seniors is this season?
The role is just to show them the passion that we have to compete for Georgia. How much we love this, how much we love together, just being one and going out there and showing everybody this is what we love to do. We love to compete and we love to do it. We just do. And our role is to show these freshmen and sophomores, you got to step up every time. And when we get that chance to compete, it's an opportunity for greatness. And that's what we want to show them.
Gorgeous job, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bart.
Thanks for joining us for another great night of gymnastics on the SEC on ESPN. The power, the grace, the athleticism, and the focus. The best that gymnastics has to offer. Once again, here are the final scores from Athens, Georgia. By a little bit more than a half a point, the Gym Dogs best the LSU Tigers. For Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bart Connor. Join us on Sunday, April 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2 for the 2010 SEC Gymnastics Championships. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.